All right, welcome out, Rockport-Fulton Pirate fans, to another episode of the PC Podcast. This will be episode number 20. Before we get started this evening, I would like to introduce the newest member to the Pirates Code team, Mr. Steve Cantu. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Happy to be
Hey,
here.
Steve.
Happy to be a part of this.
Hey, Steve, man. Let me tell you, I want to thank you for accepting our invitation, man, to be part of this team. You know, I was really happy when you accepted because I know you have this passion for Rockport football, man. You love football. You love all of Rockport sports. I mean, you're involved in the youth, in baseball, softball, youth football. I mean, you're just a pirate. I know you're not originally from Rockport. You've been here, I think, 14, 15 years, you said, man, but you show a lot of passion. I know you're always involved helping develop these kids when they start very young, man. And we're just really glad to have you be part of our team. And we're going to do some great things with this podcast. I've got a lot of plans. So I just wanted to say thank you for accepting the invite and being part of this Pirates Code team. And then Tony Pena is another member. He could not make it this evening. He's out. He had something he had to do and couldn't make it. And then, of course, last but not least, we got doing good. The Z-Man, Mr. Johnny Zavala. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
We're going to have to make something out of that. Doing good. So we got the guys here. And I know you guys are excited because today we will be talking high school football, Rockport-Fulton High School football. And joining us on the PC podcast this evening is Rockport-Fulton Athletic Director and head football coach. He's the head man here at Rockport, Mr. Jay Seibert. Coach Seibert, how you doing?
Doing great. Pleasure to be here. I watched a couple of the podcasts and just the things you are doing for our kids as far as showcasing them. And it's been awesome what you're doing. And I appreciate it a lot. And I'm glad to be here.
Coach, thank you for accepting the invite, man. We've been wanting to get you in for a while now. And I said, you know what, we're going to wait till football because this is exactly when we wanted you to be able to talk about the 2021 upcoming season, right? It's going to be a great and all the guys here on this podcast, man, they love football. And so, Johnny, I'm going to pass it over to you. I know you got some questions for Coach Seibert.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start it off here. Coach, where did you go to high school and what college did you go to?
Well, I graduated from Gregory Portland in 1997. I then went to Howard Payne College and I played football for 1 year, which I quickly learned that I probably wasn't a college football player. But I did do that for a season, and I think there were 9 quarterbacks, and I was like the 8th or 7th or 8th string. I was way down there, but I had some fun. I got to do scout team, and I actually learned a lot that year. Then I transferred to Blinn Junior College. I went to college there for a year and a half, and then I ended up finishing school and graduating from Texas A&M University. I'm an Aggie, class of 01. And then I got my master's at Lamar University out of Houston.
Aggie, love an Aggie. Gotta love an Aggie.
Yes, sir.
Hey, giggle, baby.
When playing football or any sport, I guess, I don't know. Who was your favorite coach growing up, and why?
I guess I have two. I have one that I remember that just when I think of coaches and I think of kind of what made me want to coach, it goes all the way back to my 7th grade football coach. Coach Klein was, he coached 7th grade football in GP, I think for 36 or 37 years, a long time. He's a Hall of Fame coach and he was a 7th grade coach. He was so awesome, but he really just taught me the importance of the little things and that really what it comes down to. He taught me at a young age. It's blocking, tackling, and doing things right. And we'd run one play 75 times in practice, and we only ran about 5 plays, a week. But he just stressed everything to be perfect and right. And he just made me want to be a coach. And then my freshman coach, Coach Rowe. Coach Randy Rowe, he's been an AD around the state, and he was a passionate guy, and he really made me excited about football. Until I was a freshman, I probably liked baseball a little bit more than I did football, but kind of changed that, and he made me fall in love with football.
Now, was Coach Klein the one that had like the farmer's hat all the time?
Yes, sir.
I remember that guy.
Yes, sir.
Back when I was in junior high.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my head coach back then, his name was Cliff Davis, and him were together at one time in Gregory Portland. So we got a lot of word from who he was too. And I always remember him on the sideline with that farmer's hat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once you said that name, I like that name clicked right away.
Yes, sir.
Coach, what do you know your all-time coaching record?
Yes, I'm at 70 and 42, I believe.
70 and 42. Getting to that 100 here. Hopefully it'll be here in Rockport.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hope so. I thought about the other day. I was like, Ace will have 3 more seasons where Ace will be playing. I was like, I hope I can reach 100 while he's still playing. That's kind of a goal in the back of my mind. So
that'd be fantastic. I'm gonna pass it on to you, Gabe.
Steve, you got a question or two for Coach Seibert?
Yeah, I got a couple. First off, how you doing, Jay? Good to see you. It's just all new to me, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I could tell already. I'm enjoying it. My first question, Coach, is I know this year we're going through there's a bit of change in coaching staff and position changes and stuff like that. The guys have moved on to go coach in other places. The first question I have for you, Coach, is how does losing a coach affect your scheme? Losing a coach, how does that affect you?
Well, I mean, as far as like if I lost, this year we lost 2 coaches, two high school football coaches. And as far as affecting my offensive scheme, it doesn't. Coach Gupton's the offensive coordinator. I'm also an offensive coach. We kind of do what we do. I change my scheme more upon the type of players I have. I try to adjust to our talent and the kind of kids we got, and not really the type of coaches. I would rather, we're trying to put the players in the best. We run a system. We run a slot T system on offense. We run a 3-4 on defense, but we also can change. We can, offensively, we can be really, really run power heavy, or we can be misdirection sweep heavy, or we can be play action pass heavy, and we can adjust. Yes, we're in the same scheme, but we can adjust the system. But we do that more towards our talent and not towards the coaches. But when you hire a new coach, he brings something to the table. When I go and I interview and I talk to them, and I basically find out what they're good at, what they're comfortable at, and I try to put them in the best place where they can help us become more successful and reach a new level of excellence. I guess we can say that. I don't know, but I don't know if I answered that right, but good enough.
No, and it also took care of my follow-up question too. It was let's see. You totally hit it. I mean, that was my follow-up question, is whether or not you allowed that coach to come in with his own ideals and things like that. So, I mean, you totally, you answered it inside that I could read between the lines there. So, I got my next question, is late game calls, the gutsy calls. Have you proven in the past that you're not scared to make those last minute calls, whether they're whether they hit for a score or not? What has been your most memorable late game call, good or bad?
Well, as a coach, I only remember the bad, but we don't remember the good. The reason, kind of my philosophy behind making those calls is, sometimes I get screamed at from the stadium and I hear them, but I always think if it's 4th down and the other coach would just love for me to punt, and would be scared to death if I went for it, I like to keep the pressure on them, and I feel like when our offense is rolling, if we get set back by a 5-yard penalty and we go 4 yards, 5 yards, and we're sitting there 4th and 2, I'm not one bit scared to go for it. I know that a coach on the other sideline, he's praying that I punt, and I don't want to give him that. Now, there's some late game calls. The most memorable one in recent history, no doubt about it, is Wimberley. When we went for 2 at the end of the game. And, I went there and we were in the situation, and, we had it, they called a timeout. We called a play. I immediately said, we're going for it, and I knew when we scored, I said, we're going, I figured 3 yards, we can get 3 yards. We've been pounding 3 yards on them. I think we averaged 6 or 7 yards of play against them all night long. And I thought, wow, 3 yards, no problem. And we ran our best play, our bread and butter, and we gave it to our best player. And at that time, and a couple of things happened inside the play that I'm not going to get into detail about, but we had some things that went wrong, and that broke down, and we didn't get in. And if we could go back 2.5 years in the future, and you let me do it again, I'm going to go for it again. I promise you. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would just maybe call a different play, but I'd go for it. I feel like, it's kind of our mentality. We're the Rockport-Fulton Pirates for 40 years. There was a couple years in the early 2000s, but for the most part, everyone looks at us as underdogs. Even when we win, they don't give us the kind of respect that I feel like we deserve. And so right. I feel like we have the kind of mentality that when we're there, we're going to win, and we're going to go at you, and we're going to keep the pressure on you, and we're going to be aggressive. And that's just what we do. That's how I am as a person and as a player and as a coach. And that's how I teach my players. If they say all we got to do is get 3 yards and win, let's go get the 3 yards.
Yeah.
And
well, Coach, I like to say
something, and obviously sometimes that don't work out. but I think in the last 7 years since I've been here, we've won a whole lot more games than we've lost in those situations.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I for one, I totally admire that about you, your coaching style, and those types of calls and those close calls like that. I mean, as a coach, as a youth coach, I try to model myself after that coaching style. It's all learned from watching the game, on Friday nights and watching you guys play. So you guys are doing a great job, Coach. And I was one of those guys that was cheering for you for sure. I made it a point to run up to you after the game. I remember it clearly too. But I was definitely, I love the call. Admire the aggressiveness. Gabe, that's all I got.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach. I got one for one of our guys, Tony Pena, who couldn't be on the podcast. He asked, losing Coach Medrano will be a big loss to the coaching staff. Who will take over his responsibilities on the coaching staff for the upcoming season?
Yes, and losing Coach Medrano is a big loss. It's he took care of me a lot too, so it's a big loss for I was actually back here in my yard. We got a little flood damage in my barn, and I was just telling my wife, I said, if Coach Medrano was still here, he'd be over here helping me. But losing him as a football coach is big. He's been a great running backs coach for us. And I hired a coach from Gregory Portland. His name is Tanner Swinford. He was a freshman and JV coach there and worked with running backs. He comes in, he's worked all summer with strength and conditioning. He has a lot of energy, and he's a hard worker. And I feel he's going to do a good job and come in and maybe add to our running backs a little bit and see if he can continue doing what Coach Medrano did before.
Yes, sir. And the other question is, Ryan Wells graduated last year. Who do you have in mind to take over that spot on the offensive backfield?
Well, it's hard to replace Ryan, but because he just does some tough stuff that not a whole lot of kids I've been around can do. But Devin Phillips will move over to that position. When Luke and that's obviously we have competition going forward, and we have two-a-days, and there's guys that are going to come in and shock us. But if I was calling it now, Luke, Devin took over at halfback when Luke Muirhead got hurt last year. When I moved Devin over to the fullback position and slide Luke back into the halfback position, and it changes kind of our offense a little bit, and because we don't have that bruising back, we don't have our playmakers coming back with John Chupi and Devin Phillips and Luke Muirhead and those guys. They're they're not bruisers. They're not in between the tackle runners that are going to go 5 yards or 4 yards in a cloud of dust, so to say. They're guys that like space. They're guys that want to get out and run and make moves, and they're all capable of big plays, and so it does change our offense a little bit, and the fact that we can't just line up and go inside tackle dive 3 out of 5 plays. We got to be a little bit more misdirection, versatile, throw the ball a little bit more, and get the ball out to the perimeter to Devin, John, and Luke, and we have some other playmakers that I'm expecting big things from, like Jordy, Ian McPherson, Ricky Franks, who started corner last year. He's going to play some offense and some receiver, and even there's a couple guys that are young that I'm not sure what they can do, but I'm excited here in a couple weeks to find out.
Absolutely, Coach. And as fans, man, we're looking forward to it, man. We've got a lot of talent coming back, and it's going to be very exciting to see what they can do and what some of our young players can do as well. Johnny, I'll throw it over back to you. I think you still got a few questions for Coach Seibert.
Yes. What's your thoughts about playing the Valley teams in our district this time?
Well, we were supposed to play them last year as well. It's every 2 years, but last year, because of COVID, they weren't playing football, and we ended up going 2 zones, and we didn't end up playing them. UIL is UIL. They decide that kind of stuff. All I do as a coach is they put the guys in our district. We got to play them and beat them. Am I excited to drive to Rio Hondo and Raymondville? Not really. Raymondville's not bad. It's only 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I think Rio Hondo is 2 hours and 40. Port Isabel has to come to us. But Raymondville, Rio Hondo, and Port Isabel, they're all teams that have good tradition. They're good football teams. And you put them in the mix with us, it makes things a little bit tougher than the previous few years.
Going on that, what, in your opinion, what would be the 4 teams that will make the playoffs, in your opinion?
Well, I don't care as long as we're one of them. If you want to make me guess, I would say us, Sinton, Ingleside, and Raymondville. That would be a guess, but.
Okay. We'll see after the season takes off,
Yes,
how it plays off. So speaking of other teams, what would it take for us to beat the number 10 team in the state, that being Sinton?
Yeah, to play good. If we play good, I feel like we're going to beat them. I don't care about those rankings one bit. They don't bother me. We beat the number 5 team in the state last year. We're not. It's not something that I even talk about or get consumed with. That's a group of guys or a computer system that said this team's number 10 or this team's number 2 and this team's number 5. It really matters to us. One, we play them at home, and there's no question that is a game circled on my calendar. That is a big game for us. I feel like if we're going to win district, we got to win that game. But I feel like we have a great team coming back. I feel like if we play well, and not only that, we play in Rockport, and I can't remember the last time we played in Rockport that we did not play well. I know Flower Bluff beat us pretty good last year, but Flower Bluff was a 5A Division I team with 2,000 kids in their school. They went to the 5th or the 4th round of the playoffs in 5A Division I. They were a pretty stinking good football team, and we played them decently. I know it was ugly and probably wasn't fun to watch as a fan, but our kids played their tails off. And I just think when we play in Rockport, when we play at home, I feel very comfortable that we're going to come out and play with a lot of excitement and energy, and every time we have the opportunity. And I feel like if we play good and we execute and we do what we have 8 weeks of the season to get ready for that. And I think by that time they're going to be clicking. So are we. there'll be a lot of people at that game, and I think we'll have some magic in the air, and we'll have some fun.
Amen.
That's going to be a very great game right there. That's my rivalry in high school right there. That's all I got, Gabriel.
Well,
sir.
Coach
Thank
Seibert, I'll tell you this: the Pirates Cove that week, we're going to be on. We're just going to be pumping that game up all week long. It's here in Rockport. We want the fans, not just that week, but specifically in that week. We're definitely going to, be pumping it up all week. We want the crowd out there. We want a lot of noise. We want the stands packed. That's the whole purpose of the Pirates Cove, Coach Seibert, is basically just to, show the support to all our athletes here. They work hard. I think a lot of times we talked on this podcast where we just, you see the talent that's on there, but man, doing this podcast and seeing what these kids go through the off season, sometimes they don't have a vacation, they're playing, trying to get better. It's amazing. And we want to be able to bring that out to our community, to let them know how hard all of our athletes here in Rockport are playing, man, because it plays a big role. And I can honestly tell you, Coach, that I'm a Pirate. I graduated from here in '92. And since you've been here, it's been great. I mean, we've been in the playoffs all 7 years. We've gotten out of the first round, if memory serves correct, all 7 years. 3 times we've been in the third round. So it's been great for our football program. And not only the program, Coach, but, our volleyball team has been very good. Our girls basketball team, they went on a big streak. They were district champs last year. Our boys basketball team has been really good the last couple of years. Our softball team, our baseball team, our soccer program. We have a couple of kids that have gone to state in powerlifting, in pole vaulting, George and Mikey. It's just been great to be a part of Rockport sports, man. And I just hope it continues for the up and coming athletes. I do have a few more questions for you, Coach. So Tony asked Lacey the same question we're going to ask you. What does it mean to you to be coaching your son at the high school level?
Well, I've been coaching Ace since he was 1, and I've also been his father. It doesn't, I guess, there's no question I'm excited about it, and I love doing it, and I guess it adds a little bit of pressure, but the biggest thing with coaching Ace is it's a chance to be around my son a lot, and I'm very thankful of that. A lot of guys have jobs where they spend their whole day away from their son, and I'm lucky enough where my job is with my son right now, and that's awesome. I get to see him before school at film. I get to see him during the athletic period, and then I get to see him after school at practice, and I'm very thankful for that, and I'm just going to enjoy it the most I can. The biggest there's some downfalls to coaching your son. There's always the naysayers. No matter what I do, is he doing this because of his son or not because of his son? And I really, to be honest with you, I don't care about that. I do what I feel is right. I'm always about winning, and that's what I've always been about is winning and giving the kids and my team the best experience possible, and making their high school football season as memorable as they can. And I'm just happy and glad Ace is there the next few years to enjoy that with me. And I'm sure everyone tells me it'll be the greatest time, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. I've had several coaches tell me that, and I'm sure I will. And I'm just going to try to enjoy it while he's here.
So, Coach, those are going to be great memories you'll have for the rest of your life, both you and Ace. I do have 3 more questions for you. So we're talking about Ace. Last year, he threw for 938 yards and had 12 touchdowns. He was 44 of 98 passing as a freshman. It's something. As a freshman, you can come up and put up those numbers. He is 1 out of 5 QBs to watch for the 2021 Texas high school football season in the Corpus Christi area. My question to you, Coach, would be, will we be seeing more passing from this offense this upcoming year?
Yes, sir. We're looking at a lot of things. Previous to that, the year before, we averaged 6 passes a game. Last year, with Ace as a freshman, we averaged 9 passes a game. we're kind of looking to average around 15 passes, somewhere in that nature. So, and if we're successful, as I said before, we don't have these bruiser backs. We don't have a Garrett Loudermilk or an Austin Reynolds or a Shea Durst. We got more of we got more power type guys. I mean, we got more elusive type edge guys with Chupi, and Chupi's as good as they come, but he's not a guy that you run up the middle 50 times. You want to get him on the ball. You want to get him the ball with some space and let him beat people one-on-one. And I'm extremely excited to see what John's going to do this year. I mean, you talk about a guy that's worked his tail off this year has been John Chupi, and all summer long he's been getting after it. And I'm just excited offensively to see what he's going to do, because the last 2 games of the season, I know I've gotten off the question, but the last 2 games of the season, he had over 500 yards rushing in the last 2 games. He went through a spell there, which we didn't make public or talk about, where he had about 4 games in a row where his stomach was just killing him, and it was like stomach cramps, and he had throw ups. And, he only played the first quarter of the Sinton game. And after that first quarter, he only played the first quarter, and he had 110 yards rushing in the first quarter, and he didn't play the rest of the game. And it wasn't something we didn't, and I'm not making an excuse. I didn't make an excuse then. I'm not making one now, but he had a long run like that. And I think when you put together a 10-game season with playoffs, I'm just extremely excited about what he's going to do. And if there's other ways, we're going to give him the ball, we're going to hand it to him, pitch it to him, we're going to throw it to him, and we're going to mix Devin and Luke and Jordy and Ian and Ricky and a couple more guys. We're going to mix them in and get on the ball in every way we can and let them make plays.
Yeah, I'm excited, Coach. I've been kind of following Chupi on Twitter and stuff, and just watching some of the things that he's been doing, and it's been amazing. I think he's going to come in the best shape of so far in this high school career. He looks really good. He's fast, and it's going to be very exciting to see what he's going to do. I didn't know after the Navasota game, the last game we played last year, somebody came up to me the next day and said, "Man, he had over 300 yards," and I said, "No way." I knew he ran a lot. I said, yeah. I don't know if it was exact 314, but I know it was over 300 yards. And I said, wow, ain't that something? And now you're giving us the stats on the last 2 games. It's awesome. It's going to be very exciting to see what this offense is going to do this year. Coach, the next question I have for you is, how many varsity football players are returning back from last year's team, starting offense and defense?
We have 8 returning starters on offense and 7 returning starters on defense. I mean,
that's going to be good.
That's exciting. We had, you had some guys, I'm counting 8 because I'm counting Devin and Luke, and they both played the same position, but they both started, a significant amount. But we have a lot of guys with experience. There's a couple changes. We're moving Ian McPherson from guard to tight end, and we're moving Peyton McAllister from defensive tackle to middle linebacker. And there's and just a whole lot of things that I'm excited about, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely, Coach. And we've got the boys coming in tomorrow. We've got 3 of those boys. We got Devin, Chupi, and McAllister coming on the podcast tomorrow. So we'll be talking more football with them. Coach, I do have one more question for you, and it's talking about the 3rd round. I said earlier that we have been in the 3rd round 3 times in your 7 years here. It's been very exciting. I've been to each one of them. Man, we've been right on the door, Coach. I mean, we've been right there knocking. Just a play here, a play there is what stopped us. We've got a lot of seniors coming back. We just talked about how many are coming back on the offense and defensive side. Do you think we'll be out of the 3rd round this year? I know you want to. I know. What are our chances of getting out of this 3rd round this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't answer. I've had the 3rd round goes further than that with me. 2 times as an offensive coordinator, and 3 other times as an offensive coordinator, and 1 other time as a head coach, I've gotten to the 3rd round and lost. So, man, I'm starting to worry that I'm just not any better than that. Now, I'm kidding, guys. But I think I've been stuck there for a while. So it's kind of one of those things I want to get off my back. I feel like I got, and everything when we have coaches meetings and we do things, I talk about, we got to do something. We have to do something to push us by that point. It's 7 years ago against Liberty Hill, we lost on a Hail Mary. Right at the end of the game. Was it 3 years ago we lost? I feel like Navarro beat us pretty good. I mean, we played deep. I don't feel like we played really well that game. But 2 years ago, I feel like we played a really good game against Wembley, a team that went on to the state championship. Now after that, they won the third. They beat us in the third round. They won the fourth round. They won the fifth round, and they played a pretty good state championship and fell to Pleasant Grove. But we knocked on that door, and that year we lost to Liberty Hill. They also went to the state championship. So I mean, we've played high caliber teams in the third round. We've lost to the La Vegas of the world. We lost to Liberty Hill twice. We've lost to Wembley. We lost to Navarro. These are good football teams that that's where we got to get as a football team, and we know that. And I feel like, of course, we're going in. Dang right, that's my goal. I sent a letter to the kids, and two of the goals I said, it's simple, boys. Win district, win the region, and to win the region, we just don't win the third round. We win the fourth. But I feel like it really doesn't matter how you fall. We're in the third round. We're going to play. In the third round, we're going to play a good football team. And whether it's Wimberley or Cuero or Navasota or Navarro, there's going to be a good football team there in the third round. And then the way the playoffs is right now, there's going to be a good football team there in the second. So we got to win that second round game. We got to win that third round game and win that fourth round game, and then go give those guys I don't know how much y'all have looked into it, but when you get to the fifth round, it's pretty guaranteed who you're playing, and you can go give those guys all we can give. But I'm pretty excited about our opportunity to do it. And I can promise you one thing: I'm not going to stop till we do it.
Coach, I think
All
we're going
right.
to do it this year, man. I'm telling you, our program here at the Pirates Cove, we support you all the way, Coach. We're excited about what's happening here at Rockport. We're glad to be a small part of covering our athletes here and being able to show what we're doing here with all sports to our community. And we're excited about this football season, and we'll be there every Friday night. And pumping it up all week. You'll be hearing us all week. We have it going all week long and talking about what we can do and trying to pump up our fans here for Friday night, even when we're traveling, but especially at home, and we want to see it just packed, nowhere to sit. And so we're excited, definitely. And we hope, Coach, that during the season, I know you're busy, but hopefully, we can catch an interview with you on the field or bring you in at some point, because we definitely would like to continue to talk to you as the season progresses. Steve, I'll ask you, is there anything else that you have for Coach Seibert before we call it a night?
Well, I got one more. Actually, the Ian McPherson, I hadn't heard that officially stated. So, but he answered the question, tied in. I was wondering, like, wow, where's he going to fit in? That kid, I don't care where you put him. He's going to pay. He's going to pay. I like the move, Coach. I really like the move. The one other thing, which I don't know if it's a secret or not, is I'm hearing rumors of a uniform change, maybe gold helmets or yellow helmets. Can you confirm that, Coach?
Yes, sir. We call them gold. It's yellow gold, but we're gonna have yellow gold. We're gonna have yellow gold helmets and yellow gold pants. We'll look similar to what the Green Bay Packers look, or is it I think North Dakota State, but we'll look similar to the Packers, except we'll have some black on the helmet and some black in the jersey. But and there's also on the side of the pants, they're gold with a black and green stripe. But it's going to be a pretty cool look. I mean, I have the pants, I have the helmets. I've already decorated one and looked at it. I think next week we're going to put it out on Twitter and Facebook and kind of, just, as we get closer, start putting more of that out to kind of build excitement. But it's going to be it's kind of a different look, but I think it's going to look pretty cool.
Hey, I like it.
That's a helmet I've never seen in this school, I believe. That color like that.
Yeah,
I think I remember it green and white. That's all I remember. Gabriel,
I have one in my office that we have decorated, and it's pretty sharp.
And that's awesome.
Hey, I like it, Coach. I like it. I'm a big proponent of it. Hey, you look good, play good, you know? So I like it. I like the color change. It's bold. You know what I'm saying? It's making a statement. We're coming out. Hey, listen. So great job.
I can add on to that. You know, our motto this year is be golden. You know, and I know it's yellow gold, but our motto is be golden. And what I've done is I've gotten 10 things that I feel like we got to do to get past that third round. And I've made 2 signs, and I put one in the coach's office and one in the locker room, and I call them our golden rules. So if we follow those 10 golden rules, we'll get to where we need to be. And they're very simple, like show up on time and be prepared and stuff like that. But I'm not going to read them all to you. But you know, that kind of goes with our motto and our helmet and our pants and kind of a look that, you know, we're gonna try a couple little different things, and we're gonna try a different look, and we're gonna go out and see what we can do.
All right, man. Sounds good. Steve, anything else for Coach?
No, sir. That's it, Jay. I appreciate your time, and thanks for coming on. And we're looking forward to a great season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. And Coach Cantu, thank you for everything you do for our kids. I've been watching you,
hey, thank you, Jay.
for 7 years, and not only what you worked with mine, but I've also seen what you've done with all the kids in our community, and I think a lot of what you do people don't realize the time and effort that what you don't get any credit for it, and it's pretty amazing. Just know that I see it, and I know that our coaching staff, and I know I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Johnny, you got anything for Coach Seibert?
I don't have anything over here either.
Johnny?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. All right, Coach. That's all we have. I will say that this video will be ready tomorrow at 3 p.m. So, Coach, be looking out. Tell the family. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll definitely be uploading it to our YouTube channel. That's at Coast to Coast Sports, and then we'll share it over to our Pirates Cove Facebook and Twitter page. Coach Seibert, thanks a lot for coming out and spending some time with us. We really appreciate it. Like I said, we're definitely going to be trying to get an interview with you, whether it be on the field or maybe back on the Zoom sometime during the football season. I know you're busy, but we'll see what we can do. But we wish you all the luck. The Pirates Cove is right behind you 100%. I think we're going to do some good things. We've seen these guys play. I've seen a lot of these guys play since they were, in youth football all the way up to junior high and to the high school, these seniors. And it's going to be exciting. And we're going to be there every Friday night to cheer you on. The Pirates Cove will be there. So, Coach, so once again, thanks a lot for your time. Have a great night, Coach. And we look forward to seeing you here back on the Pirates Cove in a few weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, Coach. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Go Pirates.
Yes, sir. Go Pirates.
Yeah, go Pirates.